Oh, hey there! I am your host here with another installment of our ongoing series where we look at screenplays that are going to make you say, I know that song. That's right. We're doing it again, and this time around we've got an original sci-fi thriller called Starlift Nine. Let us take a look. Okay, so first off, I really like the opening. It reminds me of the classic science fiction serial from the 1960s. You know what I'm talking about, guys. The ones that always started with some sort of big space battle, and then cut to the part where everyone was sitting around the table making plans. Anyway, this is one of my favorite tropes, because you get to see a crew of people who are capable of amazing things, and yet here they are sitting around the table with cups of coffee or tea talking about how they gonna save the world or whatever. So anyway, this opening with the grimy mining platform floating above Jupiter is perfect. Plus, I love the comparison to the oil rig. And if you think about it, it works perfectly. Oil rigs are dangerous places where men go to extract precious resources from the ground. And this is basically the same thing except it's happening in space. The second thing I want to talk about is the tone of this story because it reminds me a little bit of the show The Expanse. This is set in a future where humanity has colonized the solar system and there is a bunch of different factions and political intrigue and stuff. The main character, Ravi Cortez, is a maintenance worker for Triaxis Corp, and he works aboard the Starlift Nine, which is a giant mining platform that extracts helium-3 from Jupiter's atmosphere. Helium-3 is a valuable resource that can be used as a fuel source for nuclear fusion reactors, and it is in high demand throughout the solar system. Robbie's job is to keep the platform running smoothly and to repair any malfunctioning equipment. Now here's the thing, The Expanse is known for its hard science fiction and realistic depiction of space travel and the challenges of living in a colonized solar system. One of the reasons why The Expanse is so good is that it doesn't shy away from showing the harsh realities of life in space. The characters face real danger, both from the unforgiving environment of deep space and from the political conflicts that arise from humanity's expansion into new territories. And it's the same way here. In this story, Robbie's job is dangerous. He works in a hostile environment and he's constantly at risk of injury or death. Plus, there's also a sense of mystery and suspense. Robbie is constantly trying to figure out what is going on and he is often in danger because of it. For example, when he goes to investigate Lifter 13, he finds a secret door that leads him to a hidden chamber containing a mysterious alien AI. This discovery puts him in danger as he becomes the first human to make contact with an extraterrestrial intelligence in centuries. Another thing I like about this story is the setting. I mean, come on, Jupiter is a great setting for a science fiction story. It's massive and mysterious and it's never been fully explored. The idea of a mining platform operating above the cloud tops of Jupiter is fascinating, and I would love to see more stories set in this universe. Now let's talk about the characters. Ravi Cortez is a tough, tired, sharp-eyed guy who's been working on the Starlift Nine for most of his life. He's a hardworking, dedicated guy who's just trying to do his job and take care of his family. He's not a soldier, he's not a space hero, he's just a guy. He's just a man trying to get by in a hostile and unforgiving world. I think that's something that audiences can relate to. Also, the fact that he is the first human to make contact with an alien intelligence in centuries is pretty cool too. Now let's take a look at the plot. Okay, so far we've got Robbie investigating a malfunctioning cargo lifter, discovering a secret chamber with a mysterious alien AI, and that's pretty cool. Honestly, that's enough to make me interested in the story. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the good part yet. So if you're enjoying this video, now would be a great time to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Also, stick around until the end because we gonna run through the rest of the screenplay and look at the rest of the story. Anyway, as I was saying, we don't even have the good part yet, so let's keep going. Another thing I like about this story is that it's got a nice pace. The story moves forward at a steady clip, and there are plenty of twists and turns to keep the audience engaged. For example, once Ravi makes contact with the alien AI, he is pursued by a group of mercenaries who are trying to capture him and the AI for the company that hired them. Ravi has to evade the mercenaries while trying to figure out what the AI wants and how to stop it from causing any harm to humanity. This creates a nice sense of suspense and keeps the audience guessing about what will happen next. The ending of the story is also pretty solid. Ravi eventually confronts the mercenaries and the alien AI in a showdown that takes place on board the Starlift Nine. The fight is intense and suspenseful, and the outcome is not clear until the very end. Ultimately, Ravi is able to defeat the mercenaries and destroy the AI, saving humanity from potential annihilation. And honestly, that's just a bonus because it means there's gonna be a sequel. Overall, I think Starlift Nine is a really great story. It's got all the elements of a great science fiction thriller, including a unique setting, believable characters, and a fast-paced plot. Plus, it's got some really cool ideas about the nature of intelligence and the dangers of playing God. If you're a fan of science fiction, I highly recommend checking out Starlift 9. Alright guys, let's take a look at the rest of the screenplay. In Starlift 9 medical bay day, Ravi lies strapped to a cold steel table. A stiff-faced doctor runs diagnostics with a handheld scanner. Behind him, a flat-screen monitor shows a topographical map of Ravi's body. Doctor, they gave you a clean bill of health last cycle, Mr. Cortez. Nothing out of the ordinary. Ravi, yeah, well, I got a weird pain in my chest sometimes. Feels like my ribs are caving in. Doctor frowns and punches data into his pad. Doctor, that sounds like work stress. Are you sure you're taking care of yourself? You drink enough water, get enough rest. Ravi nods dumbly. Doctor, listen, Mr. Cortez, you're one of our best technicians, but your performance reviews have slipped lately. You've had a lot of accidents. If your health insurance lapses, we won't renew your contract. Understand? Ravi winces. Ravi thinks, Doc, int, Starlift 9 maintenance tunnel DAY. Ravi crawls through a narrow tunnel, dripping with grease and grime. Lights flicker overhead. He passes walls plastered with safety violation tickets. He stops at a junction box, pulls out a tool and begins rewiring a cable. As he works, he listens to his Vox unit crackle to life. Vox unit through static. Cortez, you got a Vox, come in. Ravi closes his eyes and rubs his forehead. Ravi shit. He reaches for his tool belt and pulls out a battered silver headset. Ravi, yeah, Ricky's voice OS over Voxel. Ricky, you got a moment, Rick? Gotta ask you something. Ricky OS, what is it, Ravi? Ricky's voice comes through static and hiss, tinny and distorted. Ravi brings the headset closer. Ricky OS, about my brother, Daniel. Have you heard anything at all, any word? Ricky's voice cracks with emotion. Static rises. RICKYOS, I know they told you not to, but please, tell me if you heard anything. A beat of silence. RICKYOS, never mind. Forget it. Sorry to bother you. I'll see you later. Ricky signs off. Ravi cradles the headset in his hands. Ricky, why won't you give up? You know they didn't bring him back. Why won't you just let go? Ricky's voice OS, I wanna know what happened to him. Ravi hangs his head, shoulders slumped. He closes his eyes and drops the headset onto his belt. Ravi, I'll find him. I promise. He begins rewiring the cable. And that's where we're gonna leave off today. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of I Know That Song. If you did, be sure to check out our other videos. We've got lots of great content coming up. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.